has came and gone, but we have a truck. Some of this footage is back from January and February when we were trying to get the truck done for Sick Week, and the rest of what you see is current footage of attempting to get the truck done for Sick Summer. In the past 6 months, we spent a lot of time searching for the parts that we needed to finish up the truck at swap meets, at Summit Scratch and Dent, trying to get the parts that we needed at the, not really necessarily the cheapest price, but the best price that we could get it at, because race parts and aftermarket parts are expensive. This build has been our most expensive build to date. So anything that we could find at swap meets or on the clearance section, we picked up. That's another reason why this truck took us over 2 years to finish up. We never explained what happened and why we couldn't make it to the Sick Week in February. So do you want to explain what kept us from the first event of this year?
Yeah, I did one burnout and the right side rear leaf spring broke and poked through the bed floor. It broke where it curls around the spring hanger.
So that left us on going down a huge rabbit hole, and that's pretty much what you're fixing to watch.
But the truck runs and operates.
I pulled this down, and I had the Wilwood brake caliper brackets for the small flange for 9-inch.
That we picked up at the Summit Scratch and Dent.
Yeah.
Months ago.
And I knew that it was different than this one, so I said, okay, well, this is the big forward flange. So when I ordered axles, I got the ones for the big flange. Well, apparently there's more than one big flange, because this is, well, for starters, the bolts are huge and these are tiny, but they're like a half a hole off. So
let me see.
I did some brief research on that. And there is a new style and an old style big pattern. And I don't know, this is a truck rear end. I don't know if there's a difference in a car rear end and a truck rear end or not. But
well, do we also know if this is a truck rear end or car rear end?
Well, it's got truck pattern axles in it. Oh. So now I'm gonna go doodle around the property and see if I have any other 9-inch Ford rear ends that like have this flange. Because if I have anything that's the right width that uses this flange, we're putting it in. I also have one in the Galaxy. The Teal Galaxy has a 9-inch Ford.
Oh yeah, so there's four.
There's four here, and then I've got another housing on the tire rack. Mm. Let's go. I want to go look at that housing and see what it is. I think it's too narrow. But I could take all the guts out of this one and put it in that one.
This is future Daniel, and none of the other rear ends we had on the property were 31 spline, so we ended up getting a third member from a swap meet that was 31 spline, and the correct axle retainer plates from Summit.
Yeah, these are the axles. I was just looking at the difference in the thickness of the flanges. These are huge compared to that. And then this bearing is thicker. And then the bearing retainer is thicker. Everything about it is just heavier built. It's also beefier here.
The secret to how to get your tires on when it's cold, you sit on them. And have the heater blowing on it, wherever it is.
You want them good folks? Sitting on that ain't gonna heat it up enough. It ain't an egg.
Proud of these things. These are Mickey Thompson wheels. Or
Tires.
whatever, I'll get it right one day. Tires. Where do we get these?
Swap meet. These came from Brad's swap meet.
Yeah.
This thing's on there straight. That is extremely close. Actually, I'm not going to put any weight on that.
So what you do is there's a gauge in the center, and what you want to do is you line up the bubble in the center. I don't know if it may be too far away for you guys to see, but
Yeah, that is, I mean, you might put a 1/4 ounce on it right there, but it's in the bubble.
so this is the straw that broke the camel's back. The reason for this is, check out this end right here.
The end that broke and poked through the bed floor?
Yeah, and it's supposed to look like...
The end that did not break and poke through the bed floor?
Yeah. So our options with this was to either find a whole axle.
Hold on, let's back up. Let's back up. These springs in this particular size don't exist. You can order custom ones, but that just seems not intelligent.
So the smarter option is to obviously 4-link it because it's gonna drive better, it's gonna be better. So why would we waste our time putting these on there and dealing with that whole shebang? And then the other problem that we were having is that our axle, the one that's in here, was 28 spline, and then we have disc brake stuff and all those parts, and axles that are 31 spline, which we picked up from the like Summit Scratch and Dent sale. Picked those up. So just the whole combination of parts has been a nightmare. We had 6 different axles here that were a 4 9-inch. None of them were 31s, even though we were told that one of them specifically was. So that didn't work out. What am I missing? It's just been a whole conundrum.
The key takeaway is the confusion with the 2 dots on the end of the axle. Should pick up the axle and show them. Any of them, I don't care which one. They all got 2 dots on them. Except maybe you picked up the only one that is the one that should be a 28 spline, that's got the big scoop in it.
Ew.
Just pick it up.
I didn't set it up to get nasty.
Every other axle we have has 2 dots in it like this, which the internet and everyone I've asked says, that's a 31 spline axle. I got news for you. I counted it multiple times. That ain't 31 splines. It's 28. So, I don't know what level of tragedy we got going on here, but it's not good.
So this is the part where now we're like, well, might as well just take the bed off and 4-link it.
Yeah, we're gonna 4-link it, and we're gonna go get a locker for our case that's for 31 spline.
Which, before all that happens, we need to sell some things because all of our money has now been spent on this. So now we've got to sell some more parts out back off of random other things.
The smart thing to do would be the smart thing to do is take the money we were gonna spend going on sick week and take that money and use it to fix this so we can do events this year.
Yeah, so that is the unfortunate situation that we're in right now. Either finish the truck, don't go to sick week, or go to sick week and spend money and don't fix the truck. So
we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, it is. What is this? This is Wednesday. We're supposed to leave Sunday for
We're supposed to leave Saturday night if we were racing.
Yeah.
Because we got to be in take before 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
We ain't racing.
Yeah, we already knew at this point in time that was not going to race because there's just so many things we're still missing and still trying to get on, and it's not a matter of time. We've had time, just like the last year, but the problem is the money.
Yeah, it costs $1 million to build a vehicle that'll pass tech.
And so for us, that's a whole different level of a build that we have never had to deal with before. And then, you know, we'll buy a round of parts and then we'll be like, okay, now we need more stuff. So it's just, you know, we don't have an unlimited budget. So luckily we do have cars out back that we can part out, we can sell, we can flip, we can get running. So we have did that.
We had 5 9-inch Ford rear ends on this property. 6. Okay, yeah, 6 with the one that Brad gave us.
Yeah.
Or Bill gave us, whoever. The combination.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of them have 31 spline axles.
So we've been trying to hustle, trying to make it work, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. So that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. The first step in race truck is removing weight. So off of the tailgate. But it's fairly hands-on anyways.
I don't think that was very attached.
No. There's one piece down.
Now can we lift way up? Sit it down there, I think we're over it. Yeah, we're over it. It's not very, attached to it.
These used to have wood beds, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this isn't even the original bed anyways.
No. Well, I would hope that the diamond plate.
To shed more weight, we just decided to go ahead and take that plate out to make it more lightweight so that we could actually lift
The original
bed
color
up.
of this truck was red, and then whoever had it last painted it black,
And then it just patinaed. This poor bed.
There's not much left.
No.
There we go. That's a heavy chunk of metal right there.
Yay, scrap metal.
Not only is it a heavy chunk of metal, heavy chunk of metal that's really useful. That was heavy.
I was thinking scrap metal, but yeah, I guess.
I mean, yeah, we can scrap it. We're not keeping it.
Oh. I know, and I don't know what it's hung on either.
Here. Let me come this side. Come to this side.
Oh, maybe that's.
Probably hung on that bumper that we should have removed. Flop fast again. This side is lighter because it's got more rust. That side right there's.
Can we just like.
We cannot flip it over.
Oh,
We'll tear this thing all to pieces.
Stuck on.
Yeah, just go pick it up.
I tried that already.
Sleep. Not as good as again. What are we on?
The end of the bumper.
The drag cars do not need bumpers. Go get the others.
We're doing a count to see how many gassers have front bumpers or don't, because I want the front bumper
Because
back on my
gassers
53.
don't have front bumpers.
But Daniel says no.
Gassers don't have front bumper. No front bumper. No front bumper. There is no reason to have that bumper.
I like my bumper.
But we're not putting the front. I'm standing my ground on that one. The end of that spring is magnetized.
Whoa! It's hairy. Oops.
It's magnetized. You know, also, if we had any real horsepower in this thing,
It'd tear the rear end
well,
out.
look, pushing all the way to the truck on these little bolts, I feel like that's not very strong. Look, we can paint the back of the cab now.
I know, I'm so excited about that. There's like, oh, well, there's gonna be like 4 feet of untouched,
Yeah.
not black paint, but at least like,
We can get this gas tank out now, too.
but at least this won't like leave crusties in our eyes,
Yeah.
which will be exciting.
Yes.
We've never had that before.
But this will be nice. We can build us a nice 4-link setup. I didn't say it earlier, and I should have. The reason I thought this was interesting is because it looks like it does when they magnaflex heads for cracks. And the other spring was broken somewhere right here. And this one's got all these little filings on it. And there's a couple of distinctive lines in there. Like, I don't know why it's magnetized or how that happened, but it's magnetized and it's got filings on it, and it shows some lines that look like stress cracks. So, we'll see.
You can also see it on this, in there, running down the
Yeah.
thing as
I
well.
still don't understand how it got magnetized.
It's still magnetized, so
Yeah,
it
I
just
know.
stays like that?
I guess.
So we were at Lyons Vintage Junkyard, and I saw this hood sitting on top of a car, and I was like, I think that's an International hood. And I saw the 3 holes, which is where the trim goes, and then the 2 handles. I was like, oh, that's gotta be 53 International. So we bought it and just put it on the truck. There are some fitment issues. I'll have to probably do some making it work, but I wanted to show you guys the original and why this one looks so much better. So this is a hood that came on this truck when we bought it. As you can tell, the patina is not there. There's some gray primer showing through. It just doesn't look good, but this one matches the patina so perfectly. And while this one is in better shape, I think we want to try to use this one for now.
I can't remember what I last said about this, but long story short, I mocked up all the 4-link stuff and made sure it didn't bind, made sure it traveled, did what it's supposed to do, and then I tacked it all in and then took it all back apart and welded it. So all these brackets are welded on. The track bar brackets welded on. Showing them close-ups of my sketchy looking brackets.
Okay, you can't see.
These shock mount brackets are pretty sketch. They're just like hacked out of plate steel with like a way too small plasma cutter. But they'll work. So we're gonna get everything painted and stick it all back in here.
We definitely are not planning on breaking any kind of speed records with this unit at all. The objective is to
it doesn't actually have that much motor in it.
Yeah. The objective is to keep it together and just finish.
The objective is to make it go down a racetrack without the rear end falling out of it, because when that spring broke and it all fell apart, that was tragic.
Yeah.
So, anyway, welded it straight to the frame, and I got a washer there to space it out. Nothing binds or hits, so it should be fine. And I have these little gussets I bought at the swap meet a while back that were perfect. I really should cut the ends off, but I'm not going to do that right now. So, without further ado, we need to paint it. I didn't bore y'all with installing all this stuff. There may be some small clips, but the 4-link stuff is installed. I've got the 31 spline center section that I got at the swap meet installed. The drive shaft fits. All the 4-link stuff is done. The coilovers, cheap eBay specials, came in and work. Our Willwood brake setup that we bought off Scratch and Done It Summit fits. Everything is good to go.
The brackets, too.
Oh yeah, the eBay brackets for the coilovers. All that stuff fit nice. I did use just a shock mount here, and I just welded a plate here to brace it so it wasn't just hooked to the frame. Anyway, I need closed-ended or open-ended lug nuts. So I'm gonna go make some, because these ones from Summit were very cheap, and open-ended ones are very expensive. So I'm gonna go remove the cap. I'm pretty certain I can just pinch these off in the vise. If not, I'll cut them with a grinder, but I think if I squeeze on it, it will break. Yep. Open-ended lug nut. Look at that. All that matters is that. Little chrome caps coming right off. Well, what'd you get?
We're going racing. We finally found some drag radials, even though they're slicks, but they say radials, for my 1953 International that's got to be at sicksummer. It's coming along, one piece and part at a time. This is our first test ride after installing the 4-link kit and the disc brakes. Now keep in mind, there is no power steering and no power brakes. it's my turn to take the truck for a spin. After Daniel drove it, I was shaking like a leaf, and he's like, "Do you want to drive?" I said, "Okay," and off we went. Daniel makes driving old vehicles and bikes look naturally easy, but he has years of experience behind his belt of driving vehicles that don't run or drive well. His grandpa started teaching him to drive heavy-duty equipment and ragged out farm trucks at the age of 4. I had never drove anything old until I got with Daniel. He taught me a few times in the blue truck when we were 15, and then when we got back together 7 years later, he told me I had to learn how to drive anything he put me in before we would get married. So here we are, scared but excited to drive the truck we built for me to race with. Practice makes perfect, right?
It's bad.
Yeah. Is there anybody behind me?
Huh?
Is there anybody behind me?
No. Probably won't go in first. Well, it might.
I gotta like stitch to my side at the same time and then over to do that.
Yeah, it ain't gonna U-turn. You got to back up. This is probably our last thrash on this thing. I got to get the fuel system done and the wiring harness installed. I finally have a Senate unit, so we're gonna install that. We're gonna run a hard line down the rail and tie everything up and get rid of the boat gas tank. So that's been fine for moving it around the yard, but maybe not so much for, like, you know, passing tech. So, without further ado, let's knock this stuff together.
We got everything installed that we needed to that was under the bed of the truck. Now we are bringing it back in the shop to do some minor rust repair before bolting it back on the frame. Okay, well, that was better than the multiple stops that I thought we were going to make.
I was out on multiple stops because I'm good once I get it up carrying it. I have to go up and down, it tears my back up.
Yeah. Okay.
It's one of those deals where, like, I was completely sick of metalwork
Yeah.
and didn't want to do any more metalwork. And here I am doing more metalwork. This hits the gas tank. I know it will because I see where the gas tank sits. So I'm going to cut it out and then I'm going to rebuild some of this. I don't care about the floor, but it needs to be attached. Kind of weld junk to junk. It is welding very poorly, but it is welding. I wish I tried to tack it up there. I'm gonna weld more along this beam and then weld the end together. We've got the bed lifted, put some tie downs in there because we needed some in there anyway. Use that to lift the bed. So now I'm gonna back the truck under it and sit her down. left it in neutral. I figure we can roll it.
I think we should just leave it just like that.
Just leave the bed raised.
Yeah. That's hilarious looking.
We do not need this anymore.
Goodbye, gas tank.
Because I have all the stuff to hook the other one up now. So as soon as I get this bed on, we're gonna hook the other tank up. And then we will not be using the boat tank anymore.
A boat gas tank is the #1 thing that you should have when you go on, gosh, what are they called? Will It Run Homes?
Yeah, will it make it home videos? Yes.
This one has been used extensively.
It has. It's one of my favorite things. We have to track over a little bit. It needs to go that way. Or the bed needs to come this way. On the outside of the overhang.
Yeah, it's supposed to be on the outside, right?
It's in the right place. That's all I can
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's correct. Should be alright. If we're lucky, we'll sit it down and all we'll really have to do is build some mounts to the back and we'll be good.
I'd say that looks like it's in the right spot.
So, this tailgate's going to get bolted on because this bed has very little support and this tailgate is not actually attached at the bottom. So I'm going to run 2 big bolts through there and cinch it down. There's where I'll use my big 7/16 bolts. So I think 7/16 bolts is better than this. Or not.
They do now.
It didn't take that much effort to make them fit. It hooks now, it don't spin, that steering is sketch.
This is the International's first stop at a gas station, probably in, I don't know, 20, 30 years or so. Still rocking the no hood. We've got to figure out how to put that on. It doesn't have the handles or latches anymore, so there's that. Still going hoodless. We did give it a bath though, so no more rust dust on it, except for on the top. There's a ton back here.
So that needs a vent. That needs a vented cap. That ain't gonna work. So the steering box, I don't know what is happening in the steering box, but I'm using half of the steering wheel travel going like the speed limit on a backcountry road. Like if you just watch my hands, it's bad. It's got a year idling.
So you're saying what? Did you really need to make it first? Or?
I mean, for parking lots, yeah. For this dirt road, this is fine. This thing would be, it would make plenty of power if it had more compression. These old dish systems, I mean, I used what I had. The input shaft in this box has play side to side now. You can hear it. And I have tightened this nut. I tightened this nut till it was snug and then backed it off just enough to feel it move. And I've done that 3 or 4 times and something in this box keeps moving. And it doesn't matter what you do, the play comes back. So in the interest of safety and not killing ourselves, we're gonna sit this one out. I don't know what to do with that. It needs a steering box. This needs to be moved because it's against that. We need one more little line holder. Maybe I can do that. I like that better. Well, this is our official, the sun's in my eyes, so I look goofy. This is our official, we regret to inform you that we are not going to sicksummer because this thing does not work.
We thrashed, we tried. It's Saturday at 4:32 from Georgia
Yeah, at this point we'd have to drive through the night anyway.
which could be done, but we still need
wiring for the lights and the seat belts and the seats in it, which is not the end of the world, but in the interest of safety and not killing ourselves and others, we're just gonna sit this one out and get a steering box because I can't get a reversed Corvair box like today, so But the truck's put together, so that's the best we've done so far.
Guess that's all that we have for the moment.
Yeah, I'm just happy the truck runs. I'm real happy with it. I'm just unhappy with the
Outcome.
front end, yeah, the steering.
Yeah.
And putting the bed on took way longer than we anticipated because I fixed the bed was falling off the truck and I added some metal to it, which y'all saw me do that, so.
I guess we did never explain what sicksummer was. So sicksummer is like Hot Rod Drag Week. You have 5 different tracks over 5 different days. You'll race in the morning and then you'll go to the next track during the day, evening, and then basically drag, drive, sleep, repeat.
Sleep is optional.
Sleep is sometimes optional, but this one, sicksummer, was based in Illinois, Wisconsin, and Iowa. And the longest track of that was like 5 hours, which actually wasn't terrible.
Yeah, most of them were 2 hours.
Yeah, we did Sickward in Florida last year, and some of those drives were like 7-8 hours.
Well, that was because of problems.
And traffic, but.
All right, my arm's getting tired.
Yeah.
Idle it away. You may idle this down. Well, it'll make it easier to not do the stall but hill start. Well, I may not be going to the event, but I figured I'd still wire the lights and stuff up. So I've got a brake switch mounted. Made me a little tab. It's sketchy, but it works. And I'm working on putting this wiring harness in. So we're going to get it wired. There's a random small town car show in Jefferson tomorrow. I think we're going to go check that out just to take the truck somewhere. Can't go to the event, but might as well do something with it. At least to, you know, put some miles on. The more miles we can put on it, the more bugs we can work out, the better off we'll be.
But all local.
Yeah. So we're going to keep working on it, and yeah, I'm not driving it far off with that steering box. I don't trust it. It's sketchy. But we only gonna have lights next time we drive it too, so at least if we need to bail, we'll have some lights to warn people.
Daniel is wiring the taillights right now. Well, in the meantime, I got a not so fun job of plugging the holes with these things called hole plugs. I think that's, oh no. Okay. Yes, they're literally called hole plugs. But the objective is basically plug any holes. So you can see I got this one, and a few of these right in here. There's still a bunch more I gotta do, and then I'll just keep moving that way, plugging holes. That'll keep any trash from getting inside the cab and just trying to basically insulate it from the elements. 11 o'clock at night and we are still going on the International. Taillights are finished up.
Brake lights.
Brake lights. And
I installed a tack.
got a nice Mallory tack. It's vintage.
I used this tack because it has a rev limiter built in. And I don't know if we've mentioned this or not, but this engine has like bad rods in it. When I say bad rods, in '69 they warranty replaced the 351 Windsors because of a poor rod design. And this is one of those engines that made it out the back door from the Ford place. It did not get destroyed. It got shoved in this truck because the guy worked there back in the 70s when this was new, or when those were new. So it has the bad rods, and anything over like $6 grand, I think they explode. So I'm gonna put the rev limit on $6 grand. So I don't want that to happen. So there's that fun tidbit of information. The switch is not working right, is what the problem is. It works in accessory, but it doesn't. It's supposed to have accessory power in on, but it doesn't. Yeah, we're going to change that key switch. There we go, now it's working.
What we didn't think about when we had the key switch is we're not sure if we have the keys to this key switch right here on the column. And if it accidentally got turned,
Yeah, I think this will lock the...
then it may lock the column.
You would know, it will lock the column, but you have to push the button to push it back. Oh, light working. Look how bright it is now. It ain't worked like that in forever.
I got scared.
Alright, I need to ground that wire, and I need to run the green wire to under there, under the hood.
I don't think we've mentioned it, but we do have another column for this. When we put this in, we didn't, and then a friend of ours said, hey, I have this column if you want it, and it actually looks a whole lot better. It's a true vintage style column, so we will put that in.
A random 80s Ford truck column.
Yeah, so we will put that in at some point in time. We're not leaving this in here.
It's a random 80s Ford truck column.
We use what we had. The same thing with the motor. We use what we had for that too.
Yeah. Yeah, it lights up. I'm gonna see if she works.
I remember that we had this little Ryobi tool thing we just have recently got for our motorcycle content and polishing up everything. But I took the top script, went ahead and tried to polish it the best I could. There's still places I missed, but you can tell a difference from the one that I did and the one that I didn't do, that's for sure. Sorry, the light's all kind of wrong there. There we go, that's better. We made it to a car show. It's not sicksummer It's just our local car show here in Jefferson, Georgia. But this is its longest test drive so far. What, 20 minutes?
Yes.
20 minutes. We don't.
It's impressive.
We don't trust it to go anywhere else with a steering box. Definitely not sicksummer. Definitely can't race with it. But you know, trying to make the best out of it. So we just came to our local car show just to come and see.
If you don't drive it, you're never gonna work the bugs out. So that was kind of our thought process with that. Like, there's gonna be other things to work through, and we're gonna find them and fix them.
And this is Danielle Anderson, and we are Resurrected Garage. We're standing at the Jefferson Civic Center in Jefferson, Georgia, where we hope to see you at our 4th annual Resurrected Show. It'll be October 19th, 2024, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You want to tell us what we're looking for?
We're looking for your drivers, your patina cars, your rat rods, hot rods, beaters, stuff like this. And you know what it's really all about, we like hanging out with like-minded people, and we don't build show cars. We can't afford that. So bring out what you got. We want to see it. And you know, if you got a show car, bring it. We're okay with, like, you know, show cars, restored cars, whatever. It's just not our style. So if you got them, bring them, but we want to see your drivers, hot rods, patina cars, etc.
Don't forget your vans, your 4x4s, your motorcycles, your choppers. We want to see those too.
Race cars.
Race cars. Our motto is old cars, new life, and we want to see you and your old iron here. We have 17 plus handmade metal trophies to give out for this diverse range of vehicles and motorcycles. All these are handmade by Daniel and I. We wanted something that represented us and that represented who we are and who the shop is. So each of those is handmade, hand-picked, and hand-done by us. We spend the whole year gathering parts. We assemble them together and make them with love.
The reason we started this show was to benefit the Arcade CH Church, and our proceeds are still benefiting that to this day. You know, we're trying to help the community. We want to benefit them and what they're doing.
For more information, you can go to resurrectedgarage.com/carshow. All the information will be right there on our website. There is all 3 years of videos there, so you can kind of get a feel for what it's like, how the day goes. All those videos are there. They'll take you over to our YouTube channel, Resurrected Garage, so you can view those as well. We also have flyers that we've been handing out. If you've got one of these, you can scan the QR code. That'll also take you there as well. We can't wait, and we hope to see you there. We hope you guys enjoyed watching us struggle to make both Sick Week and Sicksummer, but we hope it isn't we wanted to show that it's like, I don't know.
We just want to be real with it. Like, if we had an unlimited budget and unlimited time, we'd make all the events, but we don't have an unlimited budget, so therefore we spend our time trying to make money to have money to buy parts, so it's a snowball.
So I hope if there's anybody out there, maybe you guys are in the same boat, maybe you can relate to that, but
maybe we can inspire somebody to, like, just push through, like, and this is
going.
The second event we've missed, so, like, yeah, it's money you paid for the event you didn't get to go to, but we want to be safe with it. I don't want to go, like, drive the truck across the track and hit somebody because the steering box failed.
We don't want to hit somebody, we don't want to hurt ourselves, we don't want to hurt somebody else's car, but we have a truck now, so that's what matters. We do still have a few shirts. All these shirts are now on our website. We also have added some stickers. So if you head over to resurrectedgarage.com/shop, you'll see all of our merchandise, and there is also information about the car show. So check that out. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and we will see you on the next one. Also never did a frame off restoration before.
This isn't that either.
It's a cab-on restoration.
That would...
Because that's the only thing we left. We took off the front end, we took off the back, so we left the cab on. So it's a cab-on restoration.
There's no restoration going on here. This is just hacked together a race truck.